Welcome, welcome. Okay, so today we are going to be testing something out. I've been seeing it online. There's been a bunch of like blue sour raspberry pickles and hot Chester cheese puff flavored pickles. So we're going to try to do this make it at home Kool-Aid pickles. And this is going to be the first half of it. The second half is going to have to be you start making the pickles first. And then in about 3 to 5 days, we're going to check it in the fridge. And as long as it's done, we will pull it out and come show the results. And see if we can get the same results they can online. So each one of these little cups is a 1/4 cup of water. And we are going to add a tablespoon of sugar in with it. In with each one. So the 2 Kool-Aid packet flavors I got that we're going to turn our pickles into, and this is supposed to make the pickles taste like the Kool-Aid, is a black cherry and a blue raspberry lemonade. So we're going to see, and you don't use the entire packet for it. So what we don't use, we're going to end up mixing together and making Kool-Aid out of. And then we are going to add in our pickles. Alright, so now that we got these stirred up and mixed up and set, we're going to stick these in the fridge. And we will come back in 5 days and we will check out the results and see. And all I used was the hamburger dill pickles. So we'll catch you in a couple of days. Okay, so our pickles have been sitting for 5 days. So now we are going to check and see if these actually turned out like they showed. And that is the blue raspberry Kool-Aids. And it tastes just like a pickle to me. And this is our black cherries. Now that's a pickle. And it tastes like black cherry Kool-Aid. Those blue ones don't.
You know what would have made that taste better? Instead of using the dill sliced pickles, use the bread and butter pickle.
We're going to have to try that. So we will try that. The bread and butter pickles.
The bread and butter pickle is sweeter, so it would have actually tasted like Kool-Aid.
So it does work. It does dye them. You do get some of the flavor into it. And we are actually going to splice it all together because I'm going to get some bread and butter pickles and try this again. And then after they sit, we will come back and we will taste test those and let you know how those turn out. So just wait right there. We'll be right back. Okay, so part 3 of the pickle saga. And this is, I'm just going to string them all together instead of doing 3 separate ones. But I did go out and get the bread and butter pickles. I put them in the Kool-Aid mix like the beginning of the video for the other ones. I let it sit. So now we are going to try the taste test on these. And I still think it's so weird having a pickle change colors like that. I mean, that's just, wow. All right. So the bread and butter pickles, I actually have to admit, I really like this one. And I used the dark cherry Kool-Aid like I used with the other ones, only because of the fact that I kind of like that flavor better than I did the blue one, blue lemonade. So I'm a very big pickle lover. Normally, I like pickles. I don't know what it is, but I really like pickles. It's not the greatest thing in the world. You don't get like the fullest. You get a better flavor and a better taste of it like this than you do with the other one. It's still got kind of like a really weird flavor. And it's probably not something that I would go out making or go out repeating because I just like pickles alone. But these are actually not that bad. This is honestly like a really neat experiment to do with kids. You know, if you got any little kids and you want to do stuff like that with them. When my boys were little, we used to do stuff like putting the raw eggs in vinegar to see what the effect was and leave it in vinegar for a week. And a bunch of different stuff like that. So, and if you don't know about the vinegar and the egg thing, you got to try that. It's really neat to do with kids. It turns it like rubbery and it dissolves the shell and all. It's cool. But this is actually something really neat. I would say go ahead and try with your kids. You know, if they like Kool-Aid, and all you need is the Kool-Aid packet and a little bit of sugar and a jar of pickles. The bread and butter pickles does seem to take the taste and the flavor better. So I would say go with that. But yeah, and if you're someone who loves those sour pickles and stuff like that, you can add like citric acid to it. And if you sprinkle a little citric acid in it or dip it in a little bit of citric acid, that's what gives it that sour flavor. I would say this is definitely something that would be really neat and cute to try. If you have any other stuff like this, or if anybody knows of any other stuff like this, leave me a comment down below and let me know, and I would be more than happy to try it on the channel. Or just try it on my own, depending on what it is. But yeah, so till later, thank you for watching Clean Eats and Sweet Treats. And if you try this, let me know what you think. We will see you later. Bye.